Well, hello and welcome to hopefully another exciting episode of the Points of Interest podcast. My name is Josh Hawks. I am the 303 Ninja. And right over there, he is my podcasting partner for life. He is the other guy. It's Mr. Francis Fernandez.
So I think you'll be proud of my. Well, first off, we have a new follower. What's our follower?
We do have a new follower, and as we like to do, Francis, we'd like to showcase our followers when we can. And our new follower from 5 days ago, Big D 0613. Thanks for the follow.
Yeah.
Are you born on June 13th?
Or is that just the length of your D?
Oh yeah.
Hi, Ginger.
I mean, you never know. You never know.
So I want to share something with you.
Sure.
Josh, that I think you'll be proud of. So I'm having a conversation, or I'm doing a show with my other co-host, Sarah.
Your other co-host.
I know. Well, no, I'm your co-host.
Yeah, I know.
I'm your co-host, and then they're my co-host. So
right.
That's weird. So I'm doing this show with my co-host Sarah, and we're talking. And because I use this phrase so often, she went and used it properly.
Oh dear.
In a conversation, which was protect kayfabe.
Oh shit.
So thank you for allowing me to continue to spread the good word of the protecting of kayfabe and all that good stuff, because I find that hilarious as another non-wrestler watcher, who Sarah's not, that she picked up in the vernacular of protecting kayfabe.
That's awesome. I'm here to transcend slang across, everything, which is kind of funny because something I've thought about earlier. It's funny that you brought this up, Francis. This is why we do this.
Oh yeah.
I was thinking about slang earlier, and if there was a time machine, I really think if there was a time machine, it'd only be a window. You wouldn't be able to get out of the vehicle. You just kind of get the look.
Right.
Yeah. But in a perfect world, if you could take a time machine and take your slang back to the 50s,
1985,
or even sure. Let's put it more in a consumable thing for people. The 80s. Yeah. Like nobody would know nobody uses a gat anymore either. But
gat is very 90s.
Yeah. But I can't think of anything particularly. So this is falling apart.
You want to use slang now? No, I'm
just thinking about, like, if you had the ability to go back in time and interact with people, and you just spoke to the people how we speak to people now, using the slang that we use, and just to see people's faces, just be like, I have no idea what you're talking about right now. What is a selfie?
And then you just reply, lol.
Lol. Dead.
Yeah. Oh, dead ass.
No cat.
Yeah. No cat.
But yeah, that's funny. It's funny that you mentioned that, because
if you have any more, I'll spread the good word.
Yeah, this morning it was damn it! I wish I could just write this down right now, so I can remember it later. But look at you, remembering it for me.
Okay. Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, thank you for broadening my vocabulary and for allowing me to share it with another person.
That's what we're here for, man. Is to share things with each other.
It was really funny because I'm like, oh my goodness, like she used it properly. She used it like it was crazy. I mean, she didn't spell it properly. She wrote it down as a note, actually. She wrote it down the letter K and then -fabe. And I'm like, close. I mean, I understand where you're coming from.
Sure.
But it was I loved it. So, thanks for that.
The first time I saw that word, in a magazine, I was like, what? I'm not much into, spelling, reading things. I'm not very smart like that. So I'm like, okay, kefabi, then what?
Oh yeah.
I don't know what this means. But I used it a lot.
Next, I'm gonna have her talk about heels and baby faces, and I'm just like, oh man. Now
it's
all over.
Now the next word you need to get onto her so she uses all the time is speculation.
Well, but that's a
Speculation. I know it's not anything weird, but that's just one of my favorite words.
oh, okay. Because you say that's not a slang word like kayfabe is.
No,
Or heel,
no, but I say speculation a lot.
Okay.
Not
like
here so much, but in normal outdoor interacting with humans conversations.
Speculoos sound like that. That's cookie butter.
Well, if you're never unsure of something, it's purely speculation.
God.
Get you out of a lot of trouble.
Yeah.
Trouble. Nope. No, nothing. Got nothing. So this past weekend, what?
Okay.
No. What?
No. Go on.
Okay. So this past weekend, there was a Comic-Con in an area, Francis, that we are fairly familiar with. It was called
Los Angeles. No.
No, other side of the country.
Oh, New York.
Not that far. Come back. I need you to come back west a smidgen.
Chicago.
Too far.
Philadelphia?
There you go.
Oh.
I'm so glad I understand my geography a little bit. So it was RetroCon takes place apparently every year in this same building, and I just have never paid attention to it. But it takes place in our old stomping ground of the the Great Philadelphia Expo Center.
Oh, Oaks. In Oaks,
Pennsylvania. Yes, sir. Looking at the pictures that came out of it, it was so weird to see like our garage door. You know that garage door.
Oh God, our garage door.
Well, that was the garage door for staff and vendors.
That's true. That's where we entered. And
So,
we didn't even go to the garage door. It was like the little door beside the garage door.
There was that one as well.
Yeah.
But it was weird to see that. And I mean, it was all shut. Where the back area where, like behind our panel rooms, they had that dead space with more garage doors. All that area was utilized. It was kind of cool to see the same building, but set up differently. And
so, how retro did RetroCon get?
It looked like it was a toy collector's nightmare and dream.
I mean, look, I found that when it comes to collecting, that I'm very specific in what I want to collect. And I recently saw a self-transforming Optimus Prime with trailer that would transform automatically by itself, which is pretty awesome.
The trailer is a separate item.
It is. Well, I guess so. I don't know. I didn't look. I just saw it on Twitter, and I'm like, I want this. It looks so cool.
It's pretty cool. The roller, it comes with roller. Okay. You can put. It comes with I think somebody that's supposed to be Spike. Spike Wiki.
I mean, sure. Yeah. Is it really Spike Wiki in the 80s cartoon, or is it just Spike?
No, it's Spike. It's the kid. I'm pretty sure it's Spike or Daniel. I'm pretty sure it's Spike.
I know it's Spike. It's definitely Spike.
But it comes. I'm pretty sure it comes with a Spike. You could put Spike fits in roller.
Okay.
It also fits in some of the battle stations within the trailer. I think fits in that little purple thing that sits in the trailer as well. But yeah, it transformed. It opened. The ramp is the only thing you have to put in manually.
Yeah,
that's the only thing that sucks. But the doors will open on itself. I think you can control roller separately, but then the trailer will open up into its battle station mode.
Look, I mean, yes. Well, I want all that. Well, yes. If you can do that, then yes, I want all of that. And yes, his name is Spike Witwicky. Okay. I'm like shocked that that's his name. His son of Sparkplug Witwicky. Yeah.
You get introduced to them in the first episode.
Well, because I thought, because what's his face is not Spike. What's his name? And he's another Witwicky. in the Transformers movie.
Oh, you're thinking of the kid.
Yeah, the kid. You know, played by the guy that put a bag over his head, and Sam Witwicky, that's his name. Sam was his name.
That's right.
And he was played by, where's his name? Oh my god,
It's that guy, the Holes
yeah,
kid.
the Holes kid, Shia LaBeouf.
Shia LaBeouf.
There's a song all about real life cannibal Shia LaBeouf. Anyway, yes, so cool. Yes, no, I want that. I know it would like also a self-transform, but I want it to have the sound though. If it's going to do the transforming, it has to have the.
I believe it does. I believe it does. It also has like Optimus anyway has what do you call it? Like a battle stance, and it like has it swings its arms and whatnot.
In a disco dance.
That's what it really looks like. But yeah, that I mean, it's cool, but I like the enjoyment of actually transforming the toy, not pushing a button and watching it do it.
Well, picture this, right? You're podcasting live on points of interest. Your background's unblurred, and all of a sudden, in the middle of your conversation, like right in the background,
right?
So cool. Like I would be like, oh, come on. Oh, let's watch some more.
Let's watch some more of this.
Yeah.
In fact, change the angle on your camera so it's just on Optimus, and we don't have to look at your face anymore.
Totally. I think people would like that. Here's the thing. They sell these mini arcade cabinets, really small arcade cabinets that like play the demo of the game when it's on. I want that. I kind of want at some point to have my background be that. Like some of those games.
That would be pretty cool. Definitely, I think, a cooler look than a bunch of pop figures.
No offense to the people like pop figures, but yeah, I don't like pop figures. I don't understand pop figures at all.
I mean, like, hey, look, they're every to each their own with everything.
Yeah.
I in fact own two. I purchased one in a blind box, and was gifted one. But those are the only two that I own, and the only two that when I look at people's collections, I'm like, yeah, they're all the same.
Some people have just walls lined with pop figures. Yeah.
You go to the conventions. There's always the saran wrapped pop figure rolly cages, so you can just point. I want one of those, and then you get the actual one for you.
Well, Funko, right? Like when we go to the Funko booth, like we did for WonderCon, lines. Just lines out the door, like lines just snaking out there because people want to get their Funko Pops.
When I interviewed Twisted at San Diego Comic-Con that year, when we were done with the interview, I know that one of the guys, I think they're both toy collectors, but they're both big into pop. And one of the guys, Jamie, pulled me aside and showed me his 3 gigantic Funko bags, and they were just stuffed full of pops.
I think there's one Funko Pop I think that I want. That's it. I don't think there's any other than the one Funko Pop, and that's probably a Darkwing Duck Funko Pop. I think that'd be the one I'd want.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
But outside of that, I don't know if I'd want any of the other ones because I've seen them, and I'm like, I guess they look okay. Like they look fine, but they all look the same. At least with Darkwing, you have the bill, so it makes them look different.
Sure. But yeah, it just I couldn't at $15 a pop.
No pun intended.
I just it's not my collector, not my jam. Carded Transformers or GI Joes or something like that is definitely more of my jam. Even opened stuff like that is more of my jam.
Well, I missed out. So I looked it up. I just want to see how much a Darkwing Duck Funko Pop costs. How much do you think a Darkwing Duck Funko Pop costs?
Well, I imagine that they're out of print or whatever at this point, so you can only get them on the secondary market. And I'm gonna just say 75 to 125. I'm gonna go a little wide, but I don't know what they go for. So that's
so Hot Topic sells. They're out of stock, but they would sell it for $11.25. But if you need it now, you can get it through Walmart for $102.
Oh my God.
Or at Amazon for $90.
Wow.
Well, I missed out. I mean, I had an opportunity to buy one like many years ago, and I just didn't because I'm like, this is dumb. I don't really want Funko Pops.
Right.
But boy, I feel dumb now because apparently they're the freaking Beanie Babies of the 2020s.
Oh, big time. Big time.
I'm waiting for the big divorce because they always show that picture of this couple who are divorcing and they were divvying up their little.
I remember those. I remember that. Of them. I totally remember that.
So
there was a.
I'm waiting for the big one.
There was a guy that used to hang out with. I didn't hang out with this. I was like an ancillary group member of this bigger group of people that hung out in front of a Starbucks because we were losers in the suburbs that didn't have anything to do. But this kid would always roll up, and he was like the most thuggish of all the kids that were there. He looked the part. He sounded the part. He had the car for the part. And I had no reason not to believe him that he was thuggish and ruggish. And I go to the mall one day, and I'm you got the kiosks in the middle of the aisles there, and they got the Beanie Baby kiosk, and I'm like, oh, okay, I've seen that before. And look at that big dude that's, I can see the back of somebody. I'm like, oh, look at that. And there's a dude that's selling them. That's crazy. You don't see that very often. As I get closer, it's the thuggish, ruggish guy. And I was just like, well, there goes all his credibility. You can't be that tough if you're selling Beanie Babies.
But can you be tough selling Funko Pops?
I mean, no. I don't know.
Would you like to know how much the most expensive Funko Pop
is? Yes, I do, but I'm going to guess $400.
Okay. Alex DeLarge, Clockwork Orange Funko, valued at $13,300. It sold for $13,000 in 2016.
Does it have like the actor's DNA? Is it made with his DNA or hair or skin or something?
It does something that a lot of Funko Pops don't do. And what it does is it glows in the dark.
Don't they have a few of those though?
Apparently not one of Clockwork Orange's.
Well, how would you like
Alex
that?
DeLarge.
Okay, so you have your gigantic wall of Funko Pops. You turn the lights out, and there's just that one that glows in the dark. Fuck that.
No, you want that because you're gonna be like when somebody's in there, right? You're about to make love to a sexy lady, and you're like, "What's that glowing Funko Pop?" That's my $13,000 Funko Pop. That's what that is. I mean, who wouldn't? I don't know. Like, who wouldn't want to see that? I guess I don't know. $13,000. That's insanity.
But for a whole lot less, Francis, you or me or anybody else that's watching or listening can turn themselves into a Hasbro selfie series for $80 as opposed. Well, for $80 and a digital phone starting tomorrow or this weekend through the Hasbro app, Hasbro Pulse or Hasbro app. I'm not sure which one it is. You send them a selfie and they will create one of quite a few different characters for you with your face. They create an action figure for you. Francis, we can live out our dreams and become stormtroopers. We can have stormtrooper action figures made of us. We could star in our own little comic book and everything. We go on adventures.
I've seen this though, which is the kind of funny. Yeah. We've seen this.
We could take over the two characters, those two stormtroopers. They made a whole comic book series about, but we could just, we can be those two.
We could be them.
Yeah,
but we can't be them. We can be the action figure version of them, and we'll walk them around
right. Like early days of Robot Chicken, but it would just be the two stormtrooper figures of us.
This is insane, though. So I'm looking at this, right? It is the Hasbro Pulse app. Okay. Now, we went to many conventions where they had the 3D printer room where it would scan your body.
That is right.
And it would make a version of you. But you're saying this is only $80, right?
Yeah, those were like $400, and they were like rotoscale. They were not posable. They were just like you as a fucking Comanche warrior or a barbarian or something. A Comanche warrior.
I guess. But here, though, they're just really scanning your head and placing it on like a Ghostbuster body or a Power Ranger body,
right?
Or like in this case, a GI Joe body. So $80, that's okay for just your head. That's not bad. I'd be a Ghostbuster. That'd be cool.
I mean, you could do that if you wanted to. You should.
So the ordering process requires at least 5 headshots to be submitted, including a required front view, pulse, plus several angled shots from left to right, with even lighting, nothing obstructing your face, and using the same facial expression in each photo. So you can't. I guess if you're gonna smile, you have to smile in every single angle.
Yeah.
Wow, that's cool though.
I think it's really cool. The couple sample pictures that I've seen so far have a strong resemblance to the person that's holding it. It's clearly them. It looks like it comes with all the kit. Say you want to be what's his name? Snake Eyes. I think it comes with katanas and etc. etc. Stormtroopers, I imagine, come with a blaster. But you could be an X-Wing pilot, Stormtrooper, Leia, a Mandalorian, Black Panther, Iron Man, Spider-Man, Red and Pink Rangers, Ghostbusters, Black Widow, Snake Eyes, which doesn't make any sense.
I was going to say, for Snake Eyes, Iron Man, Black Panther, and the Mandalorian, they all wear masks.
Well,
so I'm assuming that it's without the mask.
No, I think the masks come with it. I think the masks come with it.
Oh, that's cool. That's even better then. If you could put the helmet on and off. Oh, that'd be great.
I believe.
Okay.
But at the same time, it also makes sense if it didn't. But I think it would be cool to have
just the head.
I think it would be really cool if if it did come with the helmet and you can have your character holding it. Your action figure holding the helmet. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, so when the hype dies down, okay, Josh, you and I, we're gonna get ourselves. You want stormtroopers? We could do stormtroopers. That's cool too. Yeah, I'll do stormtroopers with you.
We could be Ghostbusters. We could do
and
whatever.
Then we'll have it like sitting in the background.
Yeah.
Whatever. I don't care.
We can
or GI Joe.
Yeah, we gift each other. How about that?
Yeah, that'd be cool. Yeah, let's make it happen.
I already got your birthday gift set aside though, so
it's a kidney.
It should be a kidney. I don't think you'd want either one of mine, but anybody that's out there, Francis does need one, and this is the kidney plug, So help a guy out, be a nice human being. You can go to a link that we have all over our social medias that you can go to Francis's social media. He has a link there, I'm sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. How do you get out of that? See, if we had a commercial, we could just, duck out if you don't have a transition, you could just duck out and do a commercial.
Yeah, it's so hard because it's like, I try to do the segues on my show, and it's really hard to think of a way to connect topics that have nothing to relate to each other. Like, for instance, okay, we talked about action figures, and what's the next topic topic you want to talk about. Let's see if we can find a way to segue into it.
Well,
let's workshop it.
Well, see, here's where I was thinking. I was hoping anyway.
Okay.
That I was hoping one of the characters that you could be would be Darth Vader. But since that's not on the list, since it's not on the list, since it's not on the list, I wish Darth Vader was on this list, so then we can get pictures of James Earl Jones and send him an action figure of himself as Darth Vader, since they are deciding to replace him with an AI voice since he announced his retirement earlier this week. Did that work?
Yeah, I was gonna say. Well, yeah, right. So you would say, speaking of Star Wars.
Oh, see,
yeah, that's because that's really like you just have to find the one connecting dot,
right?
And be like, well, speaking of, action figures, the Lord Darth Vader was an action figure once, and guess who voiced him?
Well, there you go. So Francis did all the work. James Earl Jones announces his voice acting retirement, and about a day or two later, Disney, or just dirt sheets, I'm not 100% sure, I didn't do the research, said that they're going to start doing his voice via AI.
Which is weird because I want to say Disney announced a Mufasa standalone animated movie. So they're losing the voice of Mufasa and Lord Vader, all at the same time, and the voice of CNN, and the voice of Bleeding Gums Murphy, but he died already. So I guess
That's true.
Bleeding Gums Murphy was Lisa's saxophone inspiration in The Simpsons, and he died in that episode. And then when he died, a cloud appeared overhead to talk to Lisa, and at first it was Darth Vader, and then it was Mufasa, and then it was him as the guy from CNN, and then it was Bleeding Gums Murphy talking down to Lisa. It's one of my favorite scenes from The Simpsons. It's such a funny scene.
That's hilarious.
But, yeah, love the guy though. He's great.
On my Twitter machine, I retweeted a guy that did his own version of James Earl Jones' voice as Darth Vader. It's going through some sort of a processor, but damn, he did a great job. I quote retweeted it and said, the classic impressive, most impressive.
Yeah, but they did it with Mandalorian already by AIing Luke's voice. For
no. Yeah, I guess it was processed.
So the AI.
Yeah.
They just took clips and stuff he said throughout all the movies, and the AI just plugged it together to make it sound like it was part of the conversation. And it's like, you're not going to need these guys anymore. They've pretty much said every word.
Right.
Maybe not like gazebo or something. Or
I don't think.
What was your word?
Speculation.
Yeah, speculation. I don't think Mark Hamill on tape has said the word speculation.
Well,
you can't get him to see that.
But gazebos luckily don't exist in Star Wars.
No, but apparently cursing does, because they finally cursed in Star Wars on the show Andor.
I have not seen that yet. Is it any good? Should I watch it?
I haven't seen it either. I just know that people are making fun of it because someone says, "Oh my God," which is, again, it's Star Wars, so that's weird.
Mm-hmm.
Someone says "shit" at some point in Star Wars, which is a term that hasn't been used once in all of Star Wars until now.
Shit has been said. It was said in the prequels a lot, but it was poodoo.
Banda poodoo.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, everybody knew everybody knew what the term was.
Yeah. So poodoo, they already had a term, and yet they still said shit. So, poodoo.
Is it not supposed to be more of an adult show anyway?
It is. Yeah, it's supposed to be, the rise of the resistance.
And it follows the guy from Rogue One, yeah?
Yeah, why he becomes a resistance fighter.
Okay.
And why they fight against the Empire in the first place.
Well, if the last episode of this miniseries doesn't end with him going to go shoot that guy in the back, then it's a failure. Like the last episode would be like, I got to go beat this guy and take him out before he says anything. And then leave him to die. Great way to start a Star Wars movie.
You just want that first scene from Rogue One just to happen.
Yeah. Yeah. That way you can connect
and then
everything.
And then credits.
Yeah.
Yeah, no, that's true. I like it. I like it.
I like
more of that, please.
I like continuity.
Continuity.
Yeah. I mean they did their best with Back to the Future 2 after they got rid of the one lady and brought in the other lady that played the same lady, the same character. You know what I'm talking about? It's like Elizabeth Shue and somebody else.
Yeah.
Yeah, so they recreated that, the end of Back to the Future 1 at the beginning of Back to the Future 2 with a different actress.
Right. Because, I don't remember who the first actress was. I think she was famous, though, wasn't she?
I don't know. I was a child, man.
In Back to the Future. Okay, let's see. Let's see who they chose, who it was originally, and who they turned. So originally portrayed by Claudia Wells, and then recast with Elizabeth Shue.
Okay. Well, there you go. They did a pretty good job at recreating that scene.
Yeah. Have you ever seen the side by side? It's pretty much
pretty close
for word.
Yeah, it's pretty close. I mean, it fooled me as a kid.
Except I think Marty's dad is some other random actor because what's his face wouldn't come back.
So that's true. That's true.
Because he wanted more money and they wouldn't give it to him. So he's like, I'm not coming back. I'm like, all right, you're not in any of this movie, so we're just,
right.
Just use this other guy. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. We already replaced one Marty McFly. We have no problem replacing Papa McFly.
That's right. Yeah, you want to be like Eric Stoltz, huh? Because we got it. We got you. So yeah. Anyway,
yeah. So since we're talking about movies, Francis, let's talk about two movies.
Ooh, yes.
2 movies. One, the question is why, and then the other one is like, when the fuck is it coming out? So the first one, which one do you want first?
Why?
Cloverfield 4 was announced.
Oh yeah.
And the only detail.
Cloverfield 4? Oh yeah.
The only detail I got out of it, because the article was one of those, articles that's full of ads.
Is it a we got it covered article?
Yeah, let's not call anybody out, Francis. But
sorry.
It was one of those outlets that they get you with the clickbaity title, and then you open it up and it's just mostly ads with one paragraph, and it's fluff, and there's one sentence of information. Yes. And so the one sentence of information that I got out of the Cloverfield 4 announcement is that it's supposed to be a direct sequel to the first movie.
Yes. And it is directed by Babak Anvari, which is what apparently the big news was. They found a director instead of J.J. Abrams once again taking the helm. He's given it to somebody else. Come on, J.J.
Well,
we saw what you did with Star Trek. Make this happen.
Yeah, you saw what he did to Star Trek. He learned what lens flare was and said, "I'm going to put this in every shot." In fact,
yes.
Lighting crew, I need you to light all the actors in the set. Then I need an auxiliary set of lights to point directly at the camera lens, regardless of where it's pointing. I just learned what a lens flare is, and I love them.
Oh no, he
I
learned
put
what
my
lens flare
shades
was way
on.
back when.
I put my shades on during that movie. I was like, I keep getting blinded in this movie. Why is it so necessary to be blinding your audience?
Well, speaking of blinding, I rewatched Avatar in 3D.
In 3D.
Yes.
Wow.
Yeah. Well, which is really the only way to watch Avatar. Is in
That's what I
3D,
hear.
right?
That's what I hear.
That's. You've never seen Avatar in 3D?
No, I've never seen Avatar. Period.
Oh, all right. Well, you're not missing it. You're really not missing out on it.
I know.
But I will admit, despite it not being a good movie, even though it has been argued that it's supposedly okay, even though it is just Fern Gully with blue alien creatures. The movie in 3D is a marvel. Like no 3D movie has ever done what Avatar has done. Okay, so that I will give it. It is so good in 3D. Like it really looks amazing, like, even though it's not a very good movie. But they yeah, they showed scenes from the next one, the way of water. I'm like, okay, this looks way better. They like, who knew that 15 or 17 years of technology would make everything look so realistic?
Sure.
So good on them.
Well, I mean,
But
again, I think I missed the mark on that one, and 3D doesn't really work on me. So
no, not anymore.
not with glasses now that I have glasses, but before I had glasses when I was blind, it didn't really work then either. It just kind of hurt my eyes.
No. All right. So what movie should we be like tapping our foot to, wondering when it's going to come out?
Well, people, I think, I saw some people that weren't very interested in the past few months talking about they weren't interested in Deadpool 3.
Okay.
And I'm like, why? Because it's been a few years? Like, what the fuck? Well, clearly Ryan Reynolds won the internet today by announcing that Jack Human is going to reprise his role as Wolverine. And
which everyone is now speculating is going to be in Secret Wars, the movie, the big Avengers movie.
Well, that'd be even better.
Because they're like, oh, we have a confirmed mutant now, and if he exists, Deadpool exists in the MCU, so it means Wolverine exists in the MCU, which means he's going to be in this movie. I guess, I don't know.
I mean, we've discussed many times that I'm not a big fan of Jack Human as Wolverine, but
yeah,
clearly Jack Human and Ryan Reynolds have a good relationship with each other. So that movie might actually make me like Jack Human as Wolverine. What the fuck is his name?
Well,
Hugh Jackman.
Huge Jacked Man.
Huge.
His name is Huge Jackman.
Huge Dick Jackman.
He's 53 years old. By the time he makes the movie, if he's filming now, so he's filming at 53, which means that the movie's not going to be out. It's coming as it has a release date of September 6th,
yes,
2024, which means that he's going to be an old Wolverine. He's going to, like, without makeup and prosthetics, will look older than his Logan character, because I think Logan is around his age now.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, cool. Like, I don't know. I'm fine with it. I actually like Hugh Jackman as Wolverine. He's too tall.
That's my big gripe, but
he's 5 foot. Well, I found out recently. Wolverine is 5'3".
Mm-hmm.
So really, the only actor you can get to play Wolverine is Danny DeVito. That's it. Like, who else are you going to get to play Wolverine? Right? Like, who else is under 5 foot? Like, every actor in Hollywood is like 5'10" plus, right? Like, who you can get other than him?
That's fucking
the Penguin as
perfect.
Wolverine.
I'm a man cheetah.
Yeah,
he could be. I'm a Wolverine. Snick,
you can get
snick.
Rita Perlman as Jean Grey. And then they're all the same size. We're great. just
Who Jesus Christ. Who's the actor that plays Venom? What's his name? Tom Brady?
Oh, Tom Hardy. Yeah.
Tom Hardy. I always thought he would be a better Wolverine.
He's tall, dude, though. He's
Is
tall.
He? I thought he was like 5'10". Well, I guess that's tall.
Well, Hugh Jackman is like 5'10".
I thought he was like 6.5 feet tall.
No, well, maybe. Well, not.
He's Australian, man. They gotta have long legs to stay away from all the spiders and shit.
Right. Yeah.
You gotta have.
Oh God, you're right. He's 6'3". You're right.
Yeah.
He's super tall. Yeah.
So you gotta have the long, big strides to stay away from fucking spiders and shit.
Oh man, that's true. Tom Hardy though. Let's see. Tom Hardy is 5'9". So he's 5. Wow. He's 6 inches shorter than
that.
So that's noticeable.
That would sell me on a Wolverine. A 6-inch difference.
Yeah, 6
that would sell me on a Wolverine for sure.
Yeah.
Tom Hardy. Who else?
Tom
Hardy. You could probably get some wrestler, I bet, to be Wolverine, but he couldn't act.
Well, who was the guy who played Sabretooth in the first X-Men movie? Wasn't he a wrestler?
Tyler or something or other? Tyler Mane?
Yeah. Oh, yeah.
Wasn't that his name?
I think so.
I think he was a wrestler at one point.
Yeah. Pretty sure he was.
I thought he was a badass Sabretooth. I thought he looked pretty cool.
Yeah, it was great.
I mean, the other guy they got to come in, he was just psychological.
No, because it was stupid. It was Ray Donovan. What's his name? God, whatever his name is. I don't know anyone's name anymore.
Right.
But yeah, that actor who played Ray Donovan. Liev Schreiber. Like,
yeah.
Okay. Like, yeah, sure. Whatever. But, so here are the actors. Okay, from movieweb.com, here are the actors that they would like to see play Wolverine from August 15th, 2022. Okay. Number 7. Daniel Radcliffe of Harry Potter fame.
What the fuck? Next. to play Wolverine. Harry Potter is Wolverine. Really,
no. He's small, apparently.
Okay, fine, but he's small. He's totally small. He's not stocky.
Number 6, Keanu Reeves.
No.
Well, no, because can you imagine him being like, I am the best of what I do.
Snick.
And I kill. Snick.
Bud.
Yes.
Actually, he'd be pretty good at saying bud, actually. Calling people bud. He'd be good at that.
Oh, that's right. Hey, bud.
It would come off naturally, but he's too stoner.
He's not a stoner. He's just...
I know, but he sounds... I haven't seen John Wick, but every time I see him, he sounds like a stoner.
Joel Edgerton is the next one.
I don't even know who the fuck that is.
He played Luke's Uncle Owen.
Oh, okay.
In the Obi-Wan.
Okay.
And in the prequels. Jason Momoa.
No.
No, and Jason Momoa.
No, he's like 7 feet tall.
Too big. I don't know who Justin Theroux is, but Justin Theroux.
Never heard that name
is
either.
There for number 3. Sam Worthington, whom you have seen in Avatar. And, he's the main guy in Avatar. He's Jake Sully. He's in oh my God, the Terminator movie with Batman. Christian Bale.
Yeah.
He was in that one. And then finally, from Suicide Squad. No, was he Suicide Squad? No. Anyway, Scott Eastwood. Clint Eastwood's son.
No, I was about to make a joke, but apparently it's not a joke. That's actually who he is.
Scott Eastwood is Clint Eastwood's son, yes. Yes. Yeah. to, but unlike his father, he doesn't talk to chairs. He talks to tables. So,
Reminds
I don't know
me.
if you remember when he used to talk. When he talked.
No, I don't. But it reminds me when I ran this video game store, and this kid came in, and I'm putting his information in. I said, "What's your last name?" And he said, "Robitaille." And I was like, "Oh, like Luke Robitaille." I think he was a LA King hockey player. I believe he was a King. And I was just
he ran the Kings for years. Yeah.
okay. So, and I was just making just same sort of thing, like just like Luke Robitaille. I know how to spell that. And he's like, "Yeah, that's my cousin." And I was like, "Oh, can you get something signed for me then?"
Luke Robitaille's like 1,000,000 years old. How is he his cousin?
Well, this was in fucking 95, 96. So
he would have been 30 something. So yeah,
that makes sense.
I can see that.
But
Luke Robitaille.
Yeah, Luke Robitaille. Luc, I believe is how he spelled his name.
It is. Yep.
Yeah. Look at me and my hockey history that I only kind of know.
He was kind enough because a company I used to work for, he was friends with the owner of that company, and he gave myself and a few of the employees tickets to a hockey game.
Like personally?
So nice. Well, he gave it to the boss to give it to us, because we didn't meet him personally, but our boss knew him personally. I'm like, oh, that's cool. A celebrity. That's kind of cool. I own a celebrity.
We know celebrities, Francis.
We know celebrities. Yeah, that's true. We do.
We know a few. We know a few.
Yeah, I
can't seem to wrangle any of them in to come onto the show, but we know some.
Especially one who kept saying that they would come in for the show, and yet you said,
I know. I chose her and everything. I chose her to be
pun, or was that intentional as a pun, or was that not a pun? That'll give away who we were talking about.
Yeah, but I chose her.
Right.
I chose her. I said I'm going to be friends with her, and we are.
Good person to be friends with. Yeah,
we are. Lady's busy, man. She's busy. Con season is ending soon, so maybe we can.
Speaking of con season, no, I'm
kidding. Yes, kinda, sorta.
Sure.
Francis and I, over the years of doing Comic Cons, working for, showing up, hanging out, hobnobbing, we have over the years got to know who became the director of Ren and Stimpy, an old 90s cartoon that some people out there may remember fondly or look back and say, "Oh my God, it was so gross." But it was definitely eye-opening and shook up the animation world.
Yes.
I would even go so far as to say, Francis, that a lot of cartoons that everybody loves now, there's probably some inspiration taken from Ren and Stimpy.
I'm pretty sure, yes. As a matter of fact, I think most of those cartoons in that era,
for sure,
share a lot of the same kind of animation style and whatnot.
For sure.
Probably came from the same studio, but yeah.
But the guy that I'm talking about is Bob Camp. He was the director, one of the original artists on Ren and Stimpy, and also the guy that took over the show after Nickelodeon fired the creator, who was also the voice of Ren.
Right. John Scaluzzi or whatever.
Yeah, I didn't even write it down because it's so hard to say his name. But on the Tubi machine, you know that one? You know Tubi?
I know what Tubi is.
Tubi's got some great shit on it. There's your plug. There's the documentary on there is called Happy Happy Joy Joy. Fitting. Yeah. And it mostly does focus on the creator, but it is about Ren and Stimpy. And an hour and a half, hour and 45 minutes, something like that. Our buddy Bob Camp is in it a whole bunch of times. Whole bunch of pictures of Bob from the early 80s, early 90s when he had long ass hair, and I'm like, I've never seen you with long. I just know you as this like kind of small, timid, older gentleman. But this documentary showed me that he was like, apparently he was like an alpha type of, not like a Chad, but like, if he kept a tight ship, I believe is one of the ways he was described, by some of the other artists and whatnot. But it was just, it's definitely worth a watch. If you remember Ren and Stimpy, or you're curious, the animation that came from it was unique. It was different. They talk about it in the documentary, but some of it rang home for me pretty hard, that animation in the early 90s, the 80s and early 90s sucked ass. There wasn't a lot of good stuff coming out. A lot of the hand-drawn stuff was starting to die off.
Yeah.
Everybody started going to more exaggerated type of things, but it wasn't done well. And the John C, whatever the fuck his last name, however you say it.
Apparently he's known colloquially as John K, actually. Yeah,
okay, John K. I guess that's how you spell his last name, with a K. Yeah. Either way, his style of animation and character, just characters in general, were totally different, and the cartoon would do mega focuses on something that they really wanted you to look at. And it would be up close, in depth, super detailed. Say it was a booger, because that was probably one of the things they showed. And it would be on one of the ends of their fingers, and it would be this tight close-up shot, and there'd be hair, and the detail on the hand would be like, oh my God, these people are disgusting. And it was cool to see in the documentary that all those backgrounds were all hand painted. And just one, I didn't know that the creator was the voice of Ren. Being a voice person that, is into that kind of stuff, it was cool to see, much like any voice actor, when they act out that character, to see how much body movement goes into it, and just exaggerative movements. And then find out that Stimpy is Billy West. And as soon as they, said Billy West was doing the voice, I was like, oh yeah, that's totally like, I don't know how I didn't realize that until just now, 30 years after the cartoon has been on.
Well, I mean, why would you? You weren't paying attention to that stuff back then.
That is true. That is true. It's hot in here. I'm wearing a hoodie too. But these lights are hot, bro.
Your studio lights are getting to you?
My studio lights. But watching the show, the whole time I was sitting there, and I'm listening to Bob and some of the other artists on the show, and I'm like, man, all this does is make me want to like open up the cock and just watch all 4 or 5 seasons of it. That's the Peacock for everybody that's not up to speed on some of the slang. They are available all on Peacock. Definitely, I say give it a shot if you've never seen it before. I'm going to enjoy the next few days going back and just watching all of them.
Yeah.
I remember the episode, I can't wait to see it again, where Stimpy loses his fart. And the whole episode, they're just trying to find Stimpy's fart.
And they wonder why our comedy is so weird now.
Right.
Our senses of humor are so strange. When that's what they were feeding us back in the 90s.
Right. Well, I mean, early 90s, 91, 92, up to, I think it aired up to 95, Ren and Stimpy.
Yeah.
And right after that, immediately after that, Beavis and Butthead started airing, I think, late 94.
So there's 52 episodes for the Ren and Stimpy show. Wow.
Wow.
91 and 95. Yeah.
I'm pretty good at the pop culture stuff. First air date of Beavis and Butthead was 93. So I was off a little bit there, but all the cartoons that came out around that time, they were all aiming more towards that extreme and, just different kinds of animation. It was just kind of, I don't know how to wrap it up. It was a fun watch. It was a really fun watch. Like I said, and all it did was make me want to go back and watch all the episodes.
You should.
And I'm going to. And if you got the cock, you should too. There's a sponsor we'll never get.
Yeah. Well, yeah, we're not the first ones to call it that, though.
No,
so,
we are not. We are not by any means.
They'll have to get over it.
NASA sent a cock through space. It wasn't a cock, but that was my attempt at a fucking segue, Francis.
That's your segue.
I was trying. I was trying as my voice decided to stop working.
Penis-shaped things.
So last year, NASA sent up a rocket via SpaceX in November. With the payload on it was about the size of a vending machine, and it was called the DART program, and I don't remember what DART stands for. Something about
double asteroid retention. I forgot what it was, dude.
Basically, to deflect any dangerous asteroids that may be coming into our realm.
Yeah. Double asteroid redirection test.
So
now, if you oh my God. Okay, wait a minute.
What?
Sorry, I need to say this because it's really funny. If you go to Google and type in DART asteroid mission, a satellite will come out of the left side of the screen and knock over your results on the Google screen to the right.
Everybody do that right now, and keep listening to us, but go do that. I'm going to do it when we're done, because if I do it right now, it'll break everything that we're doing.
All of the results are angled so that as the further you get down, the further the results go to the left, because the satellite literally moved the thing. Anyway,
that's so fucking
DART, yes.
That's so fucking cool. So yesterday they did a live broadcast of the actual impact, and when I turned the broadcast on, the asteroid in question, you couldn't even see it because it was just a single pixel on the screen. Over the next hour or so, as I got closer, you could see that there were 2 asteroids there, and I was like, well, which one are they going to hit? And it was weird. They called the one that they hit the moon of the other asteroid. So apparently this one rotates around another asteroid, orbits around another asteroid. Let's use the right terminology. But they had a camera set up on this thing, and it was feeding 1 frame a second back to Earth, and you got to see both asteroids as this thing was going, I believe, 6 kilometers a second, or something around 14,000 miles an hour. I'm not those numbers I'm not 100% sure on. But to see the I don't want to say the composition of the asteroids, because we didn't see what they're made of, but to see shapes on the asteroid, to see that these were, I think they called them tightly packed debris asteroids. So there's not a lot of loose material on them. It's all just compact stuff. And the footage that was coming back, the very last image that came back was maybe not even quite a third of the image that was able to transfer back before it destroyed the vehicle. As of today, they've shown telescope footage of the impact, and it looks so fucking cool. These 2 asteroids were in no way, shape, or form in any kind of danger of intersecting with Earth. This was just something they were a test. For where they were aimed,
them having fun.
Yeah, basically, can we do it? They aimed for center mass, and apparently they were off by 17 meters. which for the distance they traveled, that's not too bad. It's not bad at all.
Or it's like, yeah. I'm guessing this is the refrigerator shaped thing, right?
The refrigerator shaped thing?
Hit it?
Oh yeah, it was like a size of vending machine, they said.
Vending machine, yeah.
About
the vending
6 feet tall or
size
so.
thing. That's pretty good when you just shoot a vending machine sized thing into space and it's only off by,
What 17 meters is what, 35 feet? 40 feet?
give or take, yeah.
Something like that? I'm not good with math.
Yeah.
Well,
17 times 3, that's all. So that's
I'm still not good with math.
1.
Okay, 50 feet.
So 51, yeah.
Yeah, that's pretty damn good, man.
It's really good, yeah. That's really good.
Space just fascinates me. I mentioned on here before, I would rather go outside and stare at the night sky than go to the Royal Gorge or the fucking Grand Canyon any day. Because to me, this is exaggerative for effect. But to me, there's nothing exciting about a ditch. Because at the end of the day, that's what both of those things are. It's a fucking ditch.
The Grand Canyon?
Yeah.
Yeah. I think the only interesting thing about the Grand Canyon was somebody caught footage of a person who was going beyond the barrier trying to get a better view and ended up falling into the canyon.
Oh.
Yeah.
I mean,
like, oh.
I mean, we never, want to wish harm or ill on anybody, but man, I do like a video of somebody falling.
It was a little, it was a bit self-inflicted because they were told not to go past the barrier and they were going past the barrier just so that they could look cool and like get a better view. And their view ended with injury. They didn't die. They just got seriously hurt.
Well, you go to I've never done it, but you go to like a safari in your car and you don't lock the car. Yeah. They tell everybody, lock your doors.
Right.
These animals know how to open doors, and you don't do it. And you see the video of the lion opening the door.
Yeah.
And the person in the back seat watches their door open by some hungry ass killer animal. You're an idiot.
Well,
I have a rule that if you have to bring your own atmosphere or air to someplace, you don't belong there. So the same would go true for a safari, unless you got some sort of like, secure vehicle. I'm not going to be taking no convertible to a safari and shit.
No, Humvee or nothing.
Yeah, or like a
Humvee with the Gatling gun on top.
Yeah. It's coming right for us.
All right, I got it. Stand back. Yeah.
That would be even worse because then the monkeys get on the roof and they figure out how to use the 50 cal.
Oh, that's a good point.
I just recently saw a video recently. I said that twice. That's stupid. Of a gorilla or some other giant ape creature starting a fire.
Okay.
That's terrifying. It knew how to use a lighter. Or no, it was a match. They gave it a book of matches. Like a box. It wasn't a book. It was a box of matches. And this, I don't know what it was. I'm not remembering what big giant ape thing it was, but
it wasn't a monkey, it was an ape.
I'm pretty sure it was an ape. Yeah, it was it's got a big puffy face. It's got big cheeks.
A bonobo built a fire and toast marshmallows.
Oh, that's it. Yeah, that was it. That was it. Yeah, it had a book of matches and it knew how to like slide the box, take a match out, struck the match, had kindling, had bigger pieces of wood, and then
yeah.
Just totally torched a fucking. I mean, that's how you do mushrooms. Bonobo. Well, that's how you do mushrooms too. Is you set them on fire, then eat them. They're really good.
Marshmallows as well, but yes,
Yes.
yeah,
Yeah. You
mushroom
set them on
bourbon.
fire, and then if you have a friend that's camping with you that's annoying, you flick the fiery marshmallow at them, and it sticks and burns them. It's great.
Fiery ball of sugar.
Yeah.
Just scorching your friends.
It's pretty awesome. You definitely, you're the winner of the camping trip if that gets happened to you.
Oh my God. Okay.
Hey, before we good, because I just remembered his name. Before we get too crazy and get out of here or anything like that, I do want to send some condolences to a friend of ours that had a passing in his family. So I don't even know if the guy even watches the show or not, but I want to give a big hug and condolences to our buddy Jalou for your recent loss, because that sucks. So
yes,
just want to throw that out there. I just remembered his fucking handle while we were just talking. I didn't want to throw his name out there. I have his full name written here, and the whole time we've been talking, I've been like, what the hell is his handle? So
yeah, he does go by Jalou.
So
yes.
big hug for Jalou.
Yeah, the funeral was this week, so a lot going on for that guy, but hope he's doing well.
Well, we all have a lot going on in our lives, but the loss of significant others that's
always tough.
That's a big one. That's a big one. It's not like being in a parking lot and getting a car accident.
No, no. But boy, oh boy, am I tired with the world after a thing like that.
Francis was just going to get himself a cup of noodle and some chips or something. I don't know what the fuck you eat.
Yeah, and lunch,
and some lady. I'll let you without, I guess, because you got to protect some kayfabe, right? But.
Yeah. I mean,
some lady
I
just
about it. And I Facebook.
That's true. So, but some lady backed into Francis and then tried to say she didn't have to give her insurance because it was Francis' fault. I don't like. It's like standing there you're at the library and you're looking at a book and somebody steps on your foot. Rolls over. No, they have a cart. They roll over your foot and then blame you for having big feet.
Well, yeah, and or it's like somebody just walks up to you, punches you in the face, and says, "Why did you punch me?" And I'm like, what?
That's better. That's a better one, actually.
Like, what are you talking about? She was trying to be like, this person who backs into my car, destroying my window, which I enjoyed watching, just glass shatter all over the place, was her first reaction when I parked my car is why did you, like, more or less she asked, why did I hit her, despite the fact that she backed into my car. She's like, why did you do that? And I'm like, why did I do what? What are you talking about? I didn't do anything.
Why did I decide to go to this grocery store at this time of the day? Privileged, Ginger, possibly privileged, possibly entitled, possibly young and dumb.
Well, she was so she was a kid. I mean, I'll just say that because she gave evidence of enough evidence to be like, oh yeah, you're young at least.
Mm-hmm.
But boy, oh boy, that was like the weirdest. She was trying to convince me not to call my insurance company and not to call this in, and I'm like, you are literally bonkers if you think I'm not going to call this in and report this accident that I had nothing to do with. Right? Like, you're insane if I'm going to pretend that it's all my fault. Right? Like, this is... I had no idea what world this girl was coming from. Her first instinct is to blame me for the things she did. And I'm just like, dude, oh man. I all day, since it was at lunch, and the rest of the day I was just like, my brain could not wrap my head around it. That was like my one thought for the rest of the day is like, how does anyone
Sure.
Like, this is the first time I've ever encountered anyone who wasn't just like, okay, here's the procedure, here's my insurance, here's this.
Right.
No matter who's at fault. Nobody
even the guy
fault,
that
nobody blames anybody.
even the guy that hit you when you were taking me to the airport that one time.
Yes.
Like, for a hot second, he fucking put up the fight that it was your fault somehow, and then he was like, "No, I fucking didn't look."
Yeah. And I'm like, wait a minute. I'm in a lane, you're turning right from 2 lanes over, and it's my
right.
What? Like, what's going on here?
You know,
so
the situation that you were in today is always one that when I'm going to a parking lot, especially if it's like a mall parking lot or a big parking lot, man, somebody's gonna. There's somebody that passes through the lanes. They're too lazy to back up.
Yeah.
You know, so they just go through, and it's always one of those people that you almost get in an accident with. But the fear of somebody backing into you when you're going down a parking lot as well is just kind of like, it's a little nerve-wracking sometimes. But to have it happen has got to be even worse.
Well, I think because like I'm a pretty cautious driver. I look at, like, every time I'm driving, I'm always like aware of the people around me because, oh my God, people don't pay attention.
Mm-hmm.
People like to just drive like maniacs because they think that there's no one else on the road but them. Apparently, that's the case again here.
I mean, even when I was out there in April or whenever that was, we both saw a car before they made the move that they were going to cut across 3 or 4 lanes of traffic, and they just did it without a signal or anything. We both just laughed, but it's like, yep.
Because it's like, and I'm aware of that stuff because I see it all the time.
Right.
Like, all the time I see people just pretend that there's no, like, they just drive like there's no one else existing in the world. And so I would have been prepared for this lady if, like, I had seen the backup lights, right? But the thing was, she didn't start backing up until I was behind her. Like, she acted as if she was backing out this entire time, and I'm like, no, if you were backing out, you would hit the front of my car. Like, the front of my car would hit the back of your car, and not you hitting this gigantic orange target, which is now behind you.
Right.
Like, obviously it wasn't me, it was you, right?
Man,
anyway,
this poor car,
whatever.
Man, the poor car, man. Poor Lucy.
Oh man, yeah, my car has been through hell and back. Like I am amazed. Man, it's in one piece.
Like, you pretended to be the General Lee that one time, and like,
yeah,
you know, just because it's got the same color doesn't mean it's got the same suspension, and then you got people just backing into you. So the passenger side's fucked up now. The driver's side was fucked up when I was out there with you.
Yeah,
you know, the poor car.
I know. So tomorrow, hopefully, or actually whenever, I don't know. It's live, so I can say tomorrow. So tomorrow, you know, hopefully they'll take a look and take care of it. But it was ridiculous. So, no, you're right, Ginger. Parking lots are the worst. And the security footage, even though I saw some messages on Facebook already saying that I shouldn't rely on the insurance to do it, they did it before I even said anything. So right when you recommended it, Ginger, my adjuster was like, I'm calling the place to get footage, like security footage of what may have happened. And I'm like, oh. Okay. She's like, what was the business? And I gave her the name of the business. And she's like, I'm looking into this. I'm like, oh, great. Thanks.
Yeah.
Like, cool. Like, that's awesome. So
maybe you get like a free Bob's Big Boy out of it or something.
I don't know.
I'm making up where you were.
I know how much it's going to cost.
You could have been at a Kroger, but I just thought, you know, being at a Bob's Big Boy would be more interesting. Because you said you're getting lunch.
First off, I love Bob's Big Boy. It's probably one of my favorite. Yeah, you know, cheers to her for sure. But I love Bob's Big Boy. Just as an aside, I love Bob's.
Why haven't we been to Bob's when I've been out there? Because we're always nowhere near one.
No, because there's the one that you want to go to is in Burbank. That's where actual celebrities eat.
Well,
I ate lunch with Jim. I ate lunch with Jim Cummings. He sat right beside me, and he didn't do any voices, but he sure ate a hamburger beside me
Jim Cummings? That's Darkwing Duck,
at the diner.
right?
Darkwing Duck, Winnie the Pooh.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, because he shares the same last name as the guy that played Dr. Mindbender, but they're not related.
No.
Brian Cummings.
Yeah. Or Tim Cummings. Is it Tim?
No, it's Brian.
There's like several Cummings people. Yeah, but yeah.
Well,
like
if things are done right,
stuff.
there's lots of Cumming people. I mean,
Oh, God. But no. Anyway, just to finish your point, Ginger, you're right that I'm usually that's why I'm usually pretty self-aware of people in parking lots, because they do just back out like they're shooting at us of cannons, because I'm used to that, especially here in California. People drive insanely like they own the road. So yeah, I'm very this was the one time where it just too many factors were going on, heat, etc. Were just like, maybe I just didn't notice, but in all honesty, it wasn't that. She hit the middle of my car, so it was not me.
Right.
It was totally her. But I don't know, whatever. I don't, just, life goes on, I guess. But yeah, $500. Apparently, $500 guaranteed to fix the damage, but it'll be waived if it's not my fault. So,
well,
and it's not.
Right. It wasn't your fault.
Insurance company.
Exactly. There was one time I did get in a car accident one time in a truck, and the four-wheel drive system had failed before the car accident, and I did my best. To convince the adjuster that the accident, because where they hit me, it was definitely a possibility, because they hit me in a wheel, that it could have broken the four-wheel drive system. And despite all of my pursuing and Jedi mind tricks, it wasn't working. I'm like, no, man, seriously, it was the accident.
And yes, thanks, Ginger. You're right. I mean, I'm okay. I didn't get hurt.
Right.
Whoever was if someone was sitting in the passenger seat, they would have been cut up from the glass. I mean, that was pretty bad.
Yeah. Why do they call it safety glass, Francis, when it turns into 8 billion pieces? Shouldn't it? Should it just fall into 4 pieces that are easy to find?
It should just fall into. It should really just be one piece that you can just remove and replace.
Back in the day, there were some kids that ran through my neighborhood with a pellet gun and were shooting windows and windshields out. And they got my window, and I called my buddy that did all the work on my cars back then, and we went to a junkyard and picked up a replacement window. It was nice that there was one there, and he knew how to do it. Yeah. 3 days later, the same window got shot out, and I was just like,
"Oh my God, really?"
Yeah, I was. Here's where the kids that were doing it, they fucked up. There was a guy in my neighborhood that worked for the FBI.
Yeah,
and they shot his vehicle.
Oh, yeah.
So then he rolled through the neighborhood looking for other people, and he was like, "If you find the pellet or the BB or whatever it is that they used, bring it to me."
I'll write down the serial number of the BB and
I'll
like, find who purchased the gun.
What are you gonna do with it, sir? Because if I find it, I'm gonna touch it, and that's gonna invalidate anything that you might. Yeah,
it takes the evidence, right? No fingerprints.
Did you shoot your own window out? Yes. Yeah, that's what I did.
I don't know. No, we didn't do BBs here. People used to. We have a lot of these pedestrian overpasses. I don't know if you guys have that in Colorado.
They do, but they're glassed in.
Oh, see, they're not glassed in. They're just wire mesh.
Mm-hmm.
So kids would stand in the middle of the pedestrian walkway and throw rocks at cars driving through the freeway, because it's fast enough to where you can't see the kid.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was this one time where this kid was trying to be smart, I guess, or something. I don't know. But he tied like a brick to like a string or rope or something and attached it to his wrist, and just every window that would drive by, just drop it a little bit, smash. But luckily, one time though, he got hit by a semi, and it got stuck in the grill.
And it yanked him off the bridge.
Well, no, it literally ripped the kid's arm off.
Oh.
But so they ended up arresting the truck driver, though, for armed robbery.
Stand by.
Do you have something?
Yes. I mean, I'm hitting you with all of it right now.
Oh, there you go. All right. Canned laughter.
Oh, my God. I had one like that earlier today. And now I don't remember what it is. But it was along the same lines. But I think that's everything for this week, Francis. Look at us giving everybody extra time.
We've been doing this. This is the second episode in a row where we've gone at least 20 minutes over.
Yeah, and we're doing this, and I forgot to mention it, and I'm supposed to do this, I guess, for like the viewer retention or something. But the phone number, it goes across the screen every 30 seconds or so. Phone lines are open every single time we do this. They're even open when we're not doing this.
Oh.
You can text your voicemail, leave us a comment, leave us a topic, call in and do the same things, and we will we'll talk about it. We'll include you in the conversation. Or if you don't want to, you can just be like, hey, talk about this and hang up, and we'll talk about it. But we want to hear from you.
Yeah, it's called a call to action.
Call to action. Call the number on the thing. It's toll free and everything. Doesn't cost you anything. But that's gonna do it for this week's show. It's not like the 90s. We don't have a 900 number. I wish we had a 900 number.
I know 900. Where they charge you per minute, or you could call a psychic and they would charge you per minute as well.
Miss Cleo.
Was Miss Cleo nationwide?
She was nationwide. Yeah.
Was she really?
Yeah.
Oh, that's awesome.
I used to love the Miss Cleo commercials.
Call me now.
Call me now.
She had that, and apparently, like, she wasn't Jamaican.
No, not at all.
The freaking Jamaican accent.
Not at all Jamaican. She was
Call me now.
Oh, so great. I wish she was alive. I would totally want to get a soundbite from her.
I know it's the ending music, but really quick, do you remember the name of the musician who did psychic readings too?
The musician?
Yeah, it was like she used to be an old R&B singer, and she ended up being like a psychic. Okay, I don't remember.
No, I don't remember. I just saw it. Well, I'll tell you in a minute.
Okay. Oh, hello.
No,
okay.
Crystal healers.
Oh yeah.
Little odd.
Yeah.
But
yeah.
Right.
Where can you find me? Go to sinceresarcasm.net. You can find Pieces Love podcast there. That's really the one. And next tomorrow, Super Geeked Up.
Super Geeked Up. Yes.
A live improv show. So go check that out.
It's a fun couple hours. Definitely worth giving it a shot. Maybe they'll talk about night thongs.
Oh right. Well, not all. Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
I just wait for any opportunity to respond with Alf or Dazzler. That's usually my contribution to that show. But
Dazzler.
Dazzler's awesome. But call us 314-764-7631. It spells out POI Pod 1 because I liked Synergy at one point. You can email us at thepoipodcast@gmail.com. Look for us on Twitter at POI Podcast and on the Instagram at POI Podcast because there is some synergy there. Find me at 303_ninja on the Twitters, 303ninja on the Instagram. We'll be back here next week, next Tuesday, 7:30ish, as always. Same Twitch time, same Twitch channel. I think that's everything. I forgot to hit fucking record at the beginning of this show, so I have to take the audio off the video. Everybody, have a great night. See ya.